You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
And welcome to the show, guys. It's Wednesday, 8:06 p.m. Central Time. Same show as always. I am Drew, and with me as always,
Justin from Spinebuster Tees and SpinebusterTees.com.
Awesome. How was your weekend?
Busy. been in the shop, man. Yeah, just a quick update. Progression's going well. I hung up. I'll say this: I deliver all the figures, deliver all the Funko Pops, set up all the Funko Pops with the shelving, set up all the figures with the hooks as well. So today I bought a little TV. So I'll be having wrestling videos on when people come to visit or whatnot, just to make the atmosphere a little bit better. So yeah,
Nice.
pretty much all 90% of stuff has been moved out of storage and into the shop and set. And now I'm just moving miscellaneous stuff now. So it's going well, man. I got a little bit over a week to go to before grand opening. So there's that.
Yeah, I can't wait. Grand opening is next Saturday, right?
Saturday, April 1st. Yeah. I think next week, probably Wednesday, Thursday, probably Thursday. Actually, I'll give you a little sneak peek if you want to come on in and check it out and get a little preview of what's to come. So
I should be off next Friday.
that'll be even better. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll let you know. And
Yeah.
definitely, I'll swing by and see what's inside.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't wait. It looks good. Like from the photos you post online, it looks like it's gonna be really fucking good, man.
Yeah. I'll probably do an update post probably Friday or Saturday once I get my display cases in. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty epic, man. It's gonna be pretty epic. I hope that the people that do come appreciate having a shop like this because we don't have many in San Antonio, and so the fact that we're a huge wrestling city and there's only one wrestling store in San Antonio that never equate to me. People, and there's actually been a lot of people who's been passing by or whatnot, like, oh man, getting all excited, like, oh, when you open. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty humbling experience so far. I haven't even opened yet. People are already interested. So
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Is it just you that's working there? Or did you hire some workers? Oh, nice.
it's just me.
So
I'm like Heath Slater. I'm the one man band.
I got 5 kids, baby. So I mean, again, I don't know how businesses work, but I'm assuming if the store does turn a profit and you make a nice little chunk of change, will you eventually, start hiring more people?
It depends. Because if I hire another one right now I'm a sole proprietor, so that means I gotta change my I gotta change my business structure at that point, and also I want to make sure that whoever people that I hire, I want to make sure that they are financially stable as well. You know what I mean? So rather if it's a teenager, right? If it's a teenager, okay, well, I gotta put that in consideration. You're still in high school, but you know what I mean? But you want to make a little bit, that's fine. Or if I'm hiring a 36-year-old adult that has 2 kids and a mortgage, right? I gotta put those things in consideration depending on, because I just don't want to hire anybody for one, and two, I want to make sure that I try to do my very best to try to help out too as well. But that's coming down in the future. But as of right now, I think it's just me. It's easy manageable. But whenever I have events, because I know I could probably do events, I could probably hire somebody for one day, like, hey, I'll give you this, amount to work one day with me, $200, $300, whatever the case may be, and work for one day, it's something like that too. So
in other words, like freelancing, somewhat.
Yeah, like freelancing. Yeah.
Or like in wrestling, come to my territory, I'll pay you $200.
Yeah, pretty much like because eventually, I want to have wrestlers there to sign to do autographs and things of that nature, and so it's not just gonna be just me managing the autograph, managing the line, and I may need a couple people that I could pay for that one day. So it has, it'd be a good little chunk of change. You know what I mean? Like I could get you $150, $200, wherever it is that I can provide. That'll be a good way to make a little extra money. So
yeah, man, can't wait. I'm proud of you. Proud of you, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. It's a long time coming. But can't wait. I'll be posting pictures in here probably this weekend as well, just so you guys can take a look at it as well, if you guys care about that. So.
But if you live in the San Antonio area and you love wrestling, the Spine Buster Tees store is opening next Saturday. WrestleMania Saturday.
Actually, I'm gonna have to watch Stand Deliver somewhat, because I know it's gonna be pretty busy, so I'll have it on the background on Saturday. So,
right.
But it's okay. I can miss Stand Deliver. It's my grand opening, man. So
No, I get you. But yeah, just come by. Get Well, I was gonna ask you that too. So I saw in the picture you posted, you had wrestling figures. Is that all you had? Are you selling like shirts or like belts or something?
Yeah, well, yeah. Like the official Spinebuster Tees t-shirts will be there. Not all designs. I'm working on getting all designs there. So figures, t-shirts, obviously Funko Pops as well. Then also trading cards, other memorabilia. I have autograph, 8x10 photos. I have just a lot of different wrestling swag as well, keychains, DVDs, just anything professional wrestling for the most part. You can probably find it where I have it at. Not literally everything, you know what I mean, but I wanna make it kind of like a you have your thrift stores there. You have your thrift stores where it's just like a melting pot of stuff. That's pretty much what it is, but for wrestling stuff. So, I have this Stone Cold telephone.
Stone Cold telephone.
Yeah, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. It's an actual phone. I don't know if it's a working phone, but it's a telephone. So it was probably from the late 90s, early 2000s.
And you're selling that?
Yeah. If someone wants it.
I mean, why not?
There's a lot of people out there who probably they collect a lot of different weird type of stuff, and that's probably one of the things that someone will want to have. Okay, well, it's a Stone Cold telephone. It's kind of weird, but there's a lot of people that want to have that they're completionists of certain things. I'm pretty sure someone has a Stone Cold display of not only action figures and trading cards, but just really anything Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think that'll be pretty cool to have. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, most definitely. Because and I don't say that to judge. talking about you have the Stone Cold telephone. People are gonna want to get that shit. Stone Cold telephone, a Hulk Hogan lunchbox, The Rock on a box of cereal. People are gonna want to buy that shit. So
yeah, absolutely. I have this WrestleMania board game. You know what I mean? Someone may not play it, but it just is okay, it's just pretty cool to have. You know what I mean? If you're into figure collecting, toy collecting, you understand, and and that's why I didn't mention this last week, but one of the YouTube channels that I watch a lot is Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, and Smart Mark Sterling. They collect obviously wrestling figures, but they collect other things as well. Ethan Page. They collect a lot of different stuff as well. You just see, and when you watch these videos, you see them go on these weird, these weird rabbit holes where you're seeing like, okay, well, this is a Cyclops from X-Men, a Cyclops, hooded visor. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I've never seen this before in my life, but that looks pretty fucking cool, and I like Cyclops. You know what I mean? For example, so you see these videos that they do, and they don't collect just wrestling figures. They're a lot of these guys are very big into Marvel, Mortal Kombat, Power Rangers, and you can see their passion behind it. So, the idea of my store is to get that passion from other people to collect certain things as well. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool for sure. Actually just posted in the chat right now that's not my. I didn't take a picture of that, but that's the phone that I have. It's a Stone Cold telephone, and so it's pretty unique for sure. So
it definitely is unique, but again, just if you're in the San Antonio area, if you want to make the trip, Spinebuster Tees opens up next Saturday, and you might be lucky. You might get yourself a Stone Cold telephone.
And and not just my shop as well. There's a lot like I think the mall in general, Crossroads Mall, Wonderland Americas, they're like kind of like in a renaissance because they always have toy conventions. They always have toy conventions there. They always have people there, celebrities there signing stuff as well. So, like if you want to see, like they had like a Power Rangers convention, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and Billy from the original Power Rangers was there. Zach from the original Power Rangers was there. Kimberly, the original Pink Ranger was there. So it's like a big deal. And like people who come to those conventions, they come check out our shops as well. And it's not just like, you have a wrestling shop, you have a shop where they have, where they sell actual, vinyl records there. You have a shop where they sell a lot of horror stuff. There's a vintage video game shop there. So it's a lot of different stuff there, not just what I have. So I'm glad that I'm in that melting pot for sure.
Oh, nice. Speaking of signing stuff, Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley posted a tweet, and this is in regards to a very, I guess you can call it a hot button topic in wrestling, where it's about fans approaching wrestlers in airports, which to me I've always been of the ilk of like, I think airports are very much more of it's a public place, but it's also one of those places of like, if you're waiting outside the airport at like 4 or 5 in the morning for your favorite wrestler to come in, it's just don't be surprised if they're going to be less than jovial.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know Sasha made the comment, saying that people who wait in airports are creeps, and which that became another story in itself. But it's like, okay, so for Rhea posted a tweet saying people need to respect that no means no. At airports, do not follow me outside. Today has put me off completely. I will not sign anything that isn't a personal photo of us anymore. Hate me, I don't care. Disagree with me. Try putting yourselves in our shoes for one bloody day. Ripley's request comes shortly after reports broke that WWE superstars have begun cutting back on the amount of signings that they will do outside of officially designated meet and greets due to an uptick in fans using social media to stalk wrestlers' locations. Last month, future WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio was, I don't know how to say this word, inundated with fans requesting autographs at an airport. Ripley's request to sign only personal photos of her with fans is a way to cut back on the amount of resellers that will harass wrestlers for multiple signatures on things like trading cards and Funko Pops, which can be resold at an immense profit due to the signature. Let's see, there was another. An unnamed source told PW Insider, you can tell who's a family with kids who happen to cross paths with us and who's stocking a place with 100 items to sign and flip to the next person for a profit. So that's one article. There's another article. It says right here, WWE talent cutting back on public autographs as location stalking intensifies. A lot of people backstage were upset with how the Mysterio incident was initially portrayed. The video of his interaction was meant to paint him in a bad light for rejecting quote-unquote fans. Moments like this have been intensifying, though, with other WWE superstars also expressing concern about being mobbed at their hotels with their accommodations, being tracked down by outsiders. WWE hasn't mandated any particular approach for what talent should do, but some have taken it upon themselves to employ a blanket policy for not signing away from designated signings. And then he just says the same quote I just mentioned. And there's one more quote right here from Rhea. Let's see. We fly around so much and we travel so much. I was running late to work this morning because I landed so late and I've got to be here at a certain time. And sometimes we just can't sign at all. Rhea laid out what happened. A fan followed her after she refused to sign the usual suspects of WWE collectibles. It was one fan specifically. He's notorious. He's always at the airport getting our signatures and selling them on eBay. We know his face and we know who he is. He's the main instigator. He followed me out and others followed him too, and they all followed me as I'm trying to find my Uber. So I'm trying to tell them no, and they're all being persistent, and I end up getting lost. I had no idea where my Uber was, and ended up down the stairs away from everyone else. I'm just surrounded by these 5 guys, and they're just hassling me. I don't think these people understand how threatening that is, especially because you don't know what's going to happen. I don't know these people. And that's the quote in itself. So overall, what are your thoughts on this certain topic and everything that Rhea said?
I mean, you gotta respect the wrestler's bubble, man. Like, they're just trying to get to their destination. They're just trying to get to where they gotta go. To me, it's like I will never, ever fucking do that at an airport.
Right.
Like the most I'll do will be like, "Hey Rhea, how you doing?" You know what I mean? Like, or something like that. "Hey Rhea, how you doing? Hey, big fan of yours." You know what I mean? And it just very, very less than small talk, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you know that they probably don't actually want to have a conversation with you, but also as well, knowing that they got to go where they need to go, and just be like, hey, I'm gonna keep supporting you, or something like that. Hey, have safe travel, something like that. Boom, keep it at that. I will never fucking do that because that's just that's very low life, very not dehumanizing, but just like you're a real piece of shit if you really do that. So, to me, this is forever gonna happen. You know what I mean? If I was Rhea, I'll let the fans know, be like, hey, I can't sign that. Unfortunately, the management team in WWE is asking us not to sign as much, only for at conventions itself. So, hey, just kind of be like, hey, I wish I could sign for you, but I'm not allowed to. You know what I mean? And if it gets caught on Twitter or something like that, then that could. I could be in big trouble. You know what I mean? You want me? Hey, you want me to lose my position in the company? Come on. You know what I mean? I'll just kind of spin it that way if I was Rhea, but who knows? Who knows the truth on if she can or cannot, or if she really just doesn't want to. But it is what it is. I mean, to me, it's a story, but it's a non-story because this thing's gonna keep happening, unfortunately, and it's gonna be the same conversation that we're gonna have about this, which is sad to say because we shouldn't really be having a conversation about this, but people are sick assholes out there, so we are gonna keep having this conversation until this dies down, but it's been happening for years upon years, not just in pro wrestling, but just in all types of media. So.
I mean, you kind of hit it on the head where you said it's a story, but it's a non-story because, it's not something that's going to go away. Because, even if WWE institutes this new policy of hey, limit how many autographs you give in public, places like the airport wherever and just mainly keep that at like meet and greets, or if it's just straight up, only do autographs at meet and greets. It's still going to be an issue because, you're going to have the different groups of wrestlers that are going to be very adamant about that policy, and then you're going to have the wrestlers that are going to be, more nicer about it. Rhea is straight up like, I'm not going to be nice. Like, don't follow me outside. It's one thing to say, hey, can I get your autograph? And if I say, no, not today. Oh, okay. Well, it was nice seeing you. I'm a huge fan. To, hey, sign my autograph. Hey, sign my, like, literally following somebody outside. That's stalking.
Right.
Like, that's fucking stalking, and that's creepy. And it's like, I don't know what these fans look like, because she says that this guy is, the instigator, that they've seen his face, and that he does this shit all the time.
I guarantee he's fat, has acne, and doesn't get no bitches.
Yeah, it's just like Rhea is a big girl, and she can take care of herself, but it's just, again, this is kind of like, has to do with the topic.
Then she attacks a fan, then the story is not...
Right.
You know what I mean? The story's like Rhea Ripley attacks a fan.
Right, where I was getting to was like, going back to Sonya Deville, where it's like, Sonya is an ex-MMA girl, but it's like, you can throw hands all you want, but if somebody has a fucking taser, then you're going down. It doesn't matter how tough you're going to go down. So for someone like Rhea, like you just said, it's like a, damned if you do, damned if you don't, where she has to be as, polite or whatever about it. But it's like, if she does like go crazy and end up punching a fan in the face, or, does anything, like, that's all over TMZ, and WWE could possibly like fire her or reprimand her in some kind of way, or B, somebody could maybe have a gun or a taser or something on it. You know what I mean? Like, right. Maybe that's a little too extreme, but it's just like,
Well, being that she's at the airport, that's probably unlikely. But I get what you're saying.
I mean, yeah, you never know with these fans, especially these. True. I mean, these aren't real fans. Like the ones who follow you outside, those aren't real fans. Those are stalkers, like plain and simple. But I mean, this started with the Rey Mysterio thing of him just looking, really just like he didn't want to be there. And this is Rey Mysterio, like the guy has a reputation for being one of the nicest guys in wrestling, and everybody loves Rey. And he just looked like he was just perturbed, to the fullest extent. And then, same thing with Liv Morgan, like she was just being bugged with these autographs and these stalker guys that wanted her to sign shit. So, unfortunately, this is something that, like you said, it's never going to go away. It's either going to stay the same or get worse.
It's been around for decades. Like CM Punk said in the famous pipe bomb promo, and even before that, like I'm pretty sure that the guys in the NWA and the WWF in the 80s, I'm pretty sure they had a miserable time of that as well. It may have been worse because things were more lax back then. So,
right. But we'll move on from that topic to. Sorry, what was that?
You want me to watch Pants?
Yeah, sure. Okay. All right, yeah, the missus was asking me something.
Sure.
So Goldberg is now officially a free agent. His contract expired, I believe, over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The last match he had was at Elimination Chamber last year against Roman Reigns, where Roman, beat him, of course. And he has yet to have a match. Since then, I think we talked about this a while ago, where he mentioned that he wanted a retirement match, whether it be in WWE or somewhere else. Now he's officially a free agent. He can go anywhere he wants. Where do you see him maybe just like, kind of like what Flair did, just like maybe having like a one-off match in like NWA or wherever, like a big pay-per-view, or maybe for like some random promotion, or AEW, I dare say.
Well, Tony Khan did mention on podcasts recently or I'm sorry, I don't know if it was on podcast, but I guess it was on an interview where he said he's a household name in pro wrestling, and certainly that's interesting to hear that he's a free agent. It's something to follow, and he's one of the biggest names in wrestling. So that's just basically Tony Khan saying he's not gonna bring in Goldberg, because Tony Khan in interviews for the most part is very diplomatic. He doesn't like go out and bury people. Oh yeah, we're not gonna pick up Goldberg, or yeah, Goldberg sucks. Like, he's not gonna do that. Like, he's just gonna say, oh yeah, he's a big name, and it's something to follow. But I don't think he's gonna pick up Goldberg. But I mean, does Goldberg really need a retirement match? Is it necessary?
I mean, for him, that's what he said.
I mean, I get it, but like, he has to realize that not all the greats got a retirement match. Hulk Hogan didn't get a fucking retirement match.
Yeah,
Bret Hart didn't get a retirement match.
Yeah, that's Goldberg, dude. Like, it's, again, I'm not saying I agree with it. I know what you mean. Like, The Rock technically didn't have a retirement match. Steve Austin. Well, I mean, Steve Austin had his, unofficial retirement match, 20 years ago, and then he came back.
Mania 19 was, it wasn't a retirement match per se, but it was a good send off. You know what I mean? It was a good send off at 19.
No, I know what you mean. Like, it wasn't like, see Steve Austin's last match. It was just like, like his health. Like, he told the story about how he literally almost died, like, the night before Mania, so he knew he was done after that. But yeah, I get you. Like, a lot of people would want retirement matches. I mean, Flair has had, 20 retirement matches?
Yeah.
It's
my last match!
It's my last match, baby! Woo! I'm gonna have this last match, baby! Woo! I still get a pop out of the Flair documentary on 30 for 30 when, he retires from WWE in 08, and then it just, fast forwards to Jim Ross, just, turning to the camera whenever he went to TNA. It just goes to Jim Ross going, he didn't have any money. I just thought that was funny. But yeah, I mean, Goldberg, not to say I'm pining for a Goldberg retirement match. I mean, if you put him in AEW, who's he gonna wrestle? Is he gonna wrestle Jericho in a retirement match? Is he gonna have?
There's nobody that he can wrestle that would fit that style. Now I would say this: if Goldberg does go to AEW, if he does end up in AEW, I don't want him there, but if he is, I want to see him wrestle Darby Allin, just to see Darby Allin take the spear.
That would be so.
You know what I mean? Like that'll be one I will want to see. Like, I just want to see that spot, the spear. It may not even have to be a match. It's just him, taking people out in the ring and him just spearing Darby Allin. You know what I mean? So, outside of that, I don't want to see it. I don't like. It's WWE or AEW. There's no other place that he's going to go to.
You're telling me you don't want to see Goldberg versus El Kingi Do Fuckity Man, whatever the fuck his name is.
It's Vikingo.
It's a dream match, Justin.
We'll talk about that in a second, because I think a lot of people are kind of how should I say overlooking on what Tony Khan is actually doing, but it is what it is.
I get what he's doing, and it's just I don't think I've made one comment about the match. I know other people have, and
right.
I really haven't, because yes, I know I'm considered the AEW hater of the group, right. which I'm really not. But it's just one of those things of, I don't know if you saw the quote I posted in the chat from a certain podcaster who shall be nameless. But I get it, where it's you're gonna have the group of people who are gonna trash it because they overly hate AEW, and again, yeah, there's gonna be the people that trash it because trashing AEW is considered the quote unquote cool thing to do. But overall,
there's one guy on Twitter he just hates AEW. I'm you're spending so much time hating something and like it just make like to me like it makes you illegitimate when you hate something that much and it's just fun to hate on it. You know what I mean? Like same thing. People like who hate WWE, like you spend so much time hating WWE, and it just makes you illegitimate as a as a podcaster, as a Twitter guy, or as a whatever. But anyway,
right? And it's just I like to give anything a chance, and I'm obviously going to give this match a chance because one, it's on.
We're just sorry right now, but yeah.
So if it's good, I'll say it's good. But the overall perspective is just like I'm just going to be simple and like short about it. Is if you don't watch every single wrestling company outside of WWE, if you're a hardcore wrestling fan, if you watch NJPW, AAA, GCW,
Impact.
God forbid Impact, Ring of Honor, you're not going to know who this dude is. Like there's barely anyone who knows. I mean, there's barely a lot of people that know who Kenny Omega is. But for this guy,
I think there's a lot more people who know of him now versus 5 years ago.
Of him, that's a fair statement of him.
Right.
Like this dude, but not a lot of people know who this dude is. Like
I think that's why Tony Khan's wanted to give him the showcase tonight.
Right, and good for him. Like if this helps him, if this is a launching pad for him to eventually get signed to AEW or maybe even go to WWE or somewhere else.
That's what it is. That's what it is because,
and that's a good thing.
This guy, he's only like 24, 25 years old.
And that's a good thing. Like if this helps him get noticed, good. I mean, I'm just going to keep it simple. If the match is good, I'll say it's good. If it's bad, I'll say it's bad. If it's meh, I'll say it's meh. It's that simple.
So I want to kind of say this here. So I've been paying attention to him probably for the last couple years. Mm-hmm. I've seen, because I watch Triple Mania every year because it sucks. It sucks so bad, but it's so good to watch. You know what I mean? It's kind of like with my Von Kali. Like he's so bad in promos, but he's so great. That's what Triple Mania is to me. Triple Mania is the only time I will watch Triple A all year. Right. But I saw this guy. I saw this guy Elio Del Vikingo. I was like, this guy, he's pretty fucking innovative, right? But and also as well, and I think the major thing that a lot of people started to get waves on him was when the PWI 500. The PWI 500 when he was like number 7 or 8, whatever he was, right? And everyone's like, who the hell is this? Why is he here? This, that, and the other. I think tonight, if everything goes well, there's no injuries, there's no major botches or anything like that, I think that's probably going to solidify, okay, I see why he's in that position now. I may not watch him, but okay, I get it, type of thing, you know what I mean? So, but Kenny Omega, Sports Illustrated, I had this up here, he stated, I'm not the matchmaker, I don't make the rules, but I've given a chance to wrestle someone that's going to change the way people think about wrestling and change the way we think about lucha libre. So that's Kenny Omega via SI. But a lot of people, saying, "Oh, it's a dream." I don't think this is a dream match. This is not one of my dream matches. But I will say that maybe it's a dream match to a 13-year-old.
Okay.
That's just started watching wrestling over the last 5 years, you know what I mean? And they may, watch AAA. You know what I mean? And, you never know. So is it a dream match? Probably not for, I will say, 90% of us, but it could be a dream match to that 13-year-old, to that 17-year-old, to someone who just watches AAA in Mexico, because they know who Kenny Omega is. He was, the AAA Mega Champion down there, and obviously they know who Vikingo is. So I again, Tony Khan's really just doing this for promotional purposes and and to get people to talk about it, and that's what it's doing. We're talking about it right now, and the match is happening right now as we speak. But Jesus Christ. Okay, that was a good move. But at the end of the day, though, it's, this match is going to happen, right? It's probably going to get 5 stars from Meltzer because you know how Meltzer likes to, as we talked about that last week ad nauseum. But yeah, I mean, at like 2, 3, 4 months down the line, unless it's like, one of the best matches ever, one of the best team matches ever, are we really going to be talking about it? Probably not. But it just depends how this match goes. So,
all right, fair statement. Again, just anyone that wants to enjoy this match, enjoy it. It's that simple, and we all know Meltzer's gonna give out all the stars in the world for it. So. All right. What's another big news bit we can talk about? Oh, so Hall of Fame. Andy Kaufman, comedy legend. Andy Kaufman set for induction into the WWE Hall of Fame. This was confirmed 2 days ago, so on Monday. Andy Kaufman, who passed away in 1984. WWE confirmed the news shortly thereafter. Kaufman stepped in the ropes in the 1970s. In 1979, he wrestled Lacoste, heiress Mimi Lambert on Saturday Night Live and declared himself the intergender wrestling champion of the world. He eventually began approaching wrestling promoters in an attempt to further get involved in the industry, eventually finding his way to Jerry the King Lawler. He wrestled at Lawler's Memphis-based Continental Wrestling Association in 1982, only revealed to be a storyline years after Kaufman's death. And the infamous David Letterman episode where Lawler slapped Kaufman. But Kaufman's in the Hall of Fame, and I'm honestly surprised it took this long. I honestly thought he was in the Hall of Fame already, back when they even started. But what do you think about Andy Kaufman in the Hall of Fame?
Very much so, deservedly so. I know why it took this long. I kind of know why, because. This is not like a Vince McMahon type of guy to be put in the Hall of Fame, but yeah, no, very much so, deservedly in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, Jerry Lawler's probably gonna induct him, either him or Jimmy Hart, but very deservedly so. Probably one of the main celebrities that needed to be in the Hall of Fame, that was in the Hall of Fame, and also as well, someone like Cyndi Lauper, she's not in the Hall of Fame as of yet. So yeah, but good, go in WWE, go in Triple H, getting it done.
Right. It's more than likely. Granted, how well his health is going to be by the Hall of Fame next week, which last we heard he's home and recuperating. But if not Lawler, it's more than likely going to be Jimmy Hart. So. Good for Kaufman. Of course, you had the millennials on Twitter saying, who's this? Why the fuck is he in the Hall of Fame? It's really?
Which really fucking bothers me. Like, if you're on... I'm not expecting anybody to go out to watch fucking, Andy Kaufman matches. But at least educate yourself and kind of be like, okay... Yeah, he's one of the first, he's really one of the first main celebrities to cross over into wrestling and actually wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't an athlete. You know what I mean? They were on a late night TV show. There was Letterman, there was Carson. You know what I mean? At that time. So it's educate yourself. Just not saying for you to go out and go out and see all of his matches, see all he's been involved in. Maybe watch one segment or two, right? But at least educate yourself and kind of be like, okay, well, he's a pioneer of being celebrities in wrestling, and at this, and also as well, WrestleMania is very big into obviously the celebrity as well. Okay, I may not know who he is, but I understand why he's in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? He's very important to Jerry Lawler, very important to Jimmy Hart, right? Okay, I understand. And just move on, right? But people say, oh, who? That's just being disrespectful. It's the internet. People are gonna be disrespectful anyway, but just stuff like that bothers me.
Yeah, and again, just people need to educate themselves. Like, I don't expect you to know who Sputnik Monroe is, but it's just like, you know, Andy Kaufman. Like, it's like, you know, Anna's saying in the chat, without Andy Kaufman, there'd be no Logan Paul, there'd be no Bad Bunny.
Exactly.
You know, there'd be no, you know, non-athletes. Well, I mean, Logan.
There'll be no intergender matches too, because he was the intergender champion.
Well, I don't really know if we should say it's a good thing, but yeah, just much deserved, and just, again, people, educate yourselves. Just it's not that hard. Go on YouTube, just type in Andy Kaufman, you'll get it. And you know this,
Andy Kaufman, you know, Jerry Lawler, you know what I mean, and you can watch like a 3-minute promo or whatever it is, but yeah, just educate yourself just a little bit, you know what I mean. And if you say who, let's say you say who, and you don't go out there and educate yourself, I won't say you're the problem, but that means you care, but you care not to learn.
And that's probably the worst thing, is just like, if you say who, and it's like, and you either go, well, I'm going to find out who this person is just to see what the big fuss is over, and you educate yourself, that makes more sense. It's like, you know, I know this is kind of like off topic. It's like with Vikingo. You know,
same thing.
Like, if you don't know who this guy is, and like you're willing to do the research and know about the dude, even if it's like after, or I mean before or after the match, you know, that makes sense because you're willing to at least give him a chance. Whereas it's like, you know, who's this guy? He sucks. It's like, just, you're not really a fan then. Like, you're not really doing your job as a fan and doing the research. Like, I'll at least try to do the research and give it a chance.
Right.
But
it's kind of like, you know, because we're gonna have Forbidden Door coming up, you know, in the next couple months, and there's gonna be people on that show that I know that a lot of people probably are not gonna know, like Hiromu Takahashi. I hope he's on the show. I hope Takahashi's on the show because I love Takahashi. But there's gonna be people here that's gonna be like, who the fuck is this? Before you say that, just look him up. You know, you don't even have to watch a match. Just watch like a 5-minute highlight video and just be like, okay, you know, okay, looks pretty good. Okay, like I'll fully judge, you know, whenever he has a match at Forbidden Door, whatever. But it's just kind of maddening that you know,
it's people. Another name said to be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year is Stacy Keibler. Hasn't been officially announced, but that's again just a rumor. Supposedly there's only going to be 5 inductees this year, and I don't think there's going to be any tag teams as far as I know. I know the rumor was that it was going to be, who was it, Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane?
Midnight Express, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But I think that's kind of off the table, at least for now, until we get another announcement. Yeah, Stacy Keibler is another inductee into the Hall of Fame this year. I mean, wrestling-wise, no. But honest question, Justin, did that matter to us? That
Not
didn't matter.
really.
That didn't matter to us. Like, Stacy Keibler she made me into a man. She made me the man I am today. I'm not proud of it.
Yeah.
But
Stacy Keibler, I remember first seeing her in WCW as Miss Hancock, dressed in the businesswoman attire, doing the dancing. So yeah, good stuff. But yeah, more deserving so being in the Hall of Fame. You know, I mean, she was very important. You know, during the Ruthless Aggression era. I mean, great eye candy, you know what I mean, for sure. And you know, and a mainstay name. So if she is officially inducted, you know, be congratulations to her for sure.
who do you think inducts her?
Maybe Tori Wilson.
Yeah, that makes sense because they're. I mean, I don't know if they're still friends in real life. I mean, but I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
On good terms, but yeah, maybe Tori Wilson. I would say Tess, but yeah, you know,
why not? I'm playing.
Maybe the Dudleys. Oh my god!
You're like,
my god!
You're like 10 seconds ahead of me, so I haven't seen the movie yet. Okay, that was pretty cool.
No, that was pretty bad. Oh my god!
Wait, did someone get hurt? Wait, are you behind me or are you ahead of me?
Oh my god!
What's
Kenny landed on his fucking on his fucking head.
Ooh.
That was. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
That was bad.
That was real. Oh my god! I think he may have tucked. Okay, looking at the replay, I think he may have tucked his neck in time. But Jesus fucking Christ!
Hopefully Kenny's okay.
Jesus Christ! That was. Oh my god! That was bad. Oh Jesus. Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this, but maybe the Dudley Boys can induct Stacy Keibler.
Well, the Dudleys are. Oh, well, Bubba's kind of in hot water with WWE. They kind of don't get along.
I know he doesn't like Triple H, but I'm just thinking of names.
Well, the Dudleys apparently don't like each other either. They're kind of like not talking anymore.
That's a shame.
That's what I heard. But Stacy Keibler and the Great Muta was announced a while ago by Ric Flair on the bump. So is Ric Flair more than likely going to induct him?
Flair, yeah, definitely Flair. Yeah, because it's either Flair or Sting, and there's really no one else that maybe Nakamura. That'll be good because obviously. But yeah, other than that, yeah, it's maybe Flair or maybe Nakamura, not Sting, unfortunately.
Okay, so what are some rumored names in the Hall of Fame this year? All right, Stacy Keibler, we already know about that. Trying to look up rumored names because I can't really think of anyone that would go in because I know Batista already kind of said straight up like he's not going to do it, though at least this year because he technically was already inducted, but he decided to hold off on it because that happened during COVID. Another rumored name is Umaga, because I don't know if you saw like Jacob Fatu posted a tweet, which I don't know why he did, where he said he got like a leaked list of Hall of Fame names and Umaga was on the list. So Umaga is a rumored name, which you know, good. You know, that's a nice addition. Let me,
God! Sorry, I just saw a good spot right there.
No,
Jesus,
I'm watching it too. That was a nice spot.
No, whoa, wait. Is it? What was the spot? Because I don't want to spoil if you didn't see it.
Yeah, Vikingo doing the Sonic the Hedgehog dive onto the table.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah, 6:30. Sonic the Hedgehog dive through the table.
I mean, that's what I call it. I don't know what you would call it, but yeah. But those are some rumored names. But this is a pretty entertaining match. I can't lie. It's getting 8 stars by Dave Meltzer. He had to subtract half a star because it's just too damn good. What time is it?
But you're looking for rumor names?
Yeah, I saw some rumor names, but I thought it was Umaga because apparently Jacob Fatu shared like a leaked, or no, he didn't share it, but he said he saw like a leaked list of Hall of Fame names and Umaga was on the list, but nothing official. Thought it would be China, but China's not going in. And yeah, that's about it. And then it's not Batista this year because I guess he has a busy schedule. So, but see, I have another news story here. Alexa Bliss declares herself all clear after skin cancer treatment, which is why she's been taking some time off. She found that her face had gotten worse after electing to go to the doctor to get it checked out. A biopsy was taken, which came back as a basal cell carcinoma, according to the Skin Cancer Foundation. That is the most common form of skin cancer, and all of cancer forms the most frequent to happen. Luckily, they're slow to grow, making most instances curable with minimal damage when detected early enough. And she's healed up. Whenever she comes back is, up to her. So, any thoughts on that?
I mean, we were kind of wondering why. Like, at least I was kind of wondering why she was off TV, and now we're kind of gaining, and it's not the news that I want to hear. You know what I mean? But I hope everything goes well for her. Wish her a speedy recovery. Take all the time that she needs. She doesn't need to rush back whatsoever. I won't say she's like a WWE lifer, but like that she has a very secure position in WWE right now. So, I just hope that everything goes well for her at the end of the day. So,
yeah, exactly. It's kind of a slow news week, but Trish Stratus won't rule out extended WWE stay. Let's get to WrestleMania, and Kenny won, of course. Not Triple H, but Trish, let's see, asked if this whole setup is just a one-off return for her on Shaq Wrestling. I don't know what that is. Stratus deflected by refusing to commit to anything beyond early April. She said, let's get to WrestleMania. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm a judge on Canada's Got Talent. As you know, in my business and my baby, these are all things to consider. It's a different, I have to go train, at nighttime. I can't do this as a full-time job right now because there are other jobs as well. But, let's get to WrestleMania and see what happens. Trish, I believe, has 2 kids. And the rumor, I don't know if you saw this, was Trish is apparently going to turn heel.
Becky Lynch.
Right, which, that's interesting. I don't know why you would have Trish be heel, but it's a good program, obviously, because you have the biggest women's star in the wrestling business of all time, and then you have the current biggest star in the women's division. So is that a program you'd want to see? And do you think it's the right way? Do you think Trish turning heel is the right way?
Would people boo Trish?
I don't think so, because it's like she's a Hall of Famer and people love her. It's like when they made Edge heel, whenever he formed the Judgment Day, it was like, but people are cheering him. Right. Like, I don't think people will want to boo Trish or Becky, really. So it's like, is there money there? Yeah, there's money there. And I guess that's the most important thing, money there, and, one-on-one dream match, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's that term's being used. Wait, hold on. Oh, no, I'm seeing the ambulance come back. I thought that was honestly, I thought that was Scott Steiner's, like a Scott Steiner coming. Oh, God. Yeah, I saw the ambulance.
I was waiting for,
where my freaks at?
But yeah, no. What I want to see in the match, one time only, right? But I don't want to. Does Trish have to be heel for that? No. What will be the reason why she'll turn heel? What will be her motivation? What will be the callous behind it? Like, I won't, like, there'll have to be like a very good explanation on the reason why she will turn heel. I don't think that story is there, unless there's something that I'm missing. Unless there's something that's right there on the forefront that I'm missing. But other than that, like, I don't want to see her turn heel. You can still have that match without her being a heel. Just challenge her.
No, I get it. Like, yeah, it's just like, throw out the challenge of like, I'm the biggest star of yesteryear and you're the biggest star now. And, granted, Becky isn't that over at the moment, but, she's still a star. Like, it makes sense. And again, I don't know why she needs to turn heel. I guess, like, if you want to do the thing of like Trish is like, oh, I did a lot for this company and, I'm a star and people, love you more than me, which to me that just wouldn't make any sense. That'd be forced. That'd be kind of a forced storyline. And I don't know, but yeah, it's just I wouldn't mind seeing the match, but I don't. Trish doesn't need to be a heel. She can just be a face, and it can just be the biggest star of yesterday and the biggest star now. Right. That's it. I mean, it's plain and simple. It makes money. So, and now Kenny and Adam are at odds again. All right, so huge update on Randy Orton's status heading into Mania. Randy has not been on television since dropping the tag titles to the Usos on my birthday, actually, July 17th on SmackDown. He has been out of sight for almost a year as he recovers from a back injury. However, WWE may not be going a WrestleMania without Orton after all, according to PWI Elite. Orton is scheduled to be at WrestleMania 39 weekend. While it has not been confirmed whether Orton will be appearing on camera on either night of the WWE's flagship show or WWE Raw following Monday, it seems unlikely Orton would be flown in just to hang out backstage. The potential good news for Orton is a sharp contrast from late 2022, when it was reported that the Viper had undergone back fusion surgery, a procedure that would seem to sideline him for a significant period. In February, however, a report emerged that Orton had contacted a bootmaker in order to design new wrestling boots, hinting that a return could be happening sooner rather than expected. PWI further noted that the internal discussion regarding Orton's status had recently popped up again with WWE, and it just kind of mentions a bunch of other things. So, I mean, it's one of those things that'd be nice to have Orton back, because you got Cody. I mean, that could be a feud with Cody, just Cody and Randy running that back. I don't think Randy ever needs to be a heel again, in my opinion, because I know with we always talk about how the Big Show is famous for these classic heel and face turns every 5 months, whereas Orton just does the same shit. He wants to be a heel for no reason, and it's just at this point people are cheering Orton. People like Orton. They love Randy, and Randy just seems like he's in a better place as far as professionally, where he actually looks like he wants to be there. And put him in a feud with Cody, if Cody somehow does beat Roman next Sunday. So I don't know, but again, it's just one of those things that it'd be nice to have Randy back. If Randy came back, that'd be nice. That would just add more to the show. But what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Randy's, he will be back in some capacity. My guess would probably be, this is what I would do. I will bring him back, the night after WrestleMania. Right. That's when I'll bring him back. He doesn't need to show up at WrestleMania itself, right? It'll be cool if he came out, but it has to make sense. You're not just gonna bring anybody out. It has to make sense. But yeah, no, I think, I mean, I really have nothing much to add or really add on that. I mean, it's just okay, he's going to be backstage. I mean, okay, cool. He doesn't need to be on the WrestleMania card. The only thing I think will be okay is if LA Knight and Randy Orton have a little back and forth of LA Knight, because there's a lot of rumors with LA Knight on who he may either face or who he may have an interaction with. Randy Orton will be one of those guys that I'll be okay with. Outside of that, just have him show up the night after WrestleMania. But glad that he's recovering well. Glad that he is, seemed to be almost 100% back.
All right, and last news story. Again, not really a big news tidbit. The Undertaker talked about working with CM Punk and at WrestleMania. And I forget which podcast he was on. He was on... Doesn't say which podcast he was on, but he talked about the supposed beef with CM Punk. He said he was great to work with. I'm very proud of that match. We sat down and we thought about ideas and everything. It was great. Inside the Ropes. That was the name of the show. I had no beef with Punk. He was always business with me. Hopefully I was with him too. And He was good with me, and that's all that matters. Business is business. Whatever's best for business. Everybody thinks they're an expert, but they really have no clue. It's ridiculous online. Business always has been business, and Punk was always business with me. I mean, people, like, I guess, like to allude to things because, Punk said them, where Punk, talked about how, the match was I guess the match didn't mean really much to him because it's just like, I know I'm not beating Taker. And this was that stretch of time where, it was Punk versus Taker, and then later on was Punk versus Brock. And then just Punk having to put over part-time guys, and for him that was frustrating because it's just like, I'm here. Like, I'm your guy. I'm the one out here busting my ass. And it's just like, it's like he said in the Colt Cabana podcast, like, if I beat Taker, that's fine, but it's like, is he going to show up to work tomorrow? Well, no. Okay. Like, I don't know. Like, it's one of those things of just like, Punk prides himself on being a performer, and I get that. But eventually he's going to want that part-time gig. Because, like, Edge, they really did a good job at preserving Edge where they didn't overexpose him, whereas Punk would just come out, week after week. And that was my problem with, Punk's run in AEW, was that I thought they were overexposing him by having him come out and have these competitive matches with, underneath talent. Or, I shouldn't say underneath talent, but just mid-card talent. Like, why is he having a competitive match with Daniel Garcia? Why is he having a competitive match with Lee Moriarty? Like, save him for the big events. Save him for pay-per-views. Save him for, top-tier talent. And if you want to do something with him on Dynamite, have him come out and cut a promo. Have him come out and do a tag match. I don't have any interest in seeing Punk versus, second-tier talent, and I get why he wants to do it. Because with Punk, it's always been like, I think Punk thinks more like an independent wrestler rather than a professional wrestler. And I'll explain why. Like, for him, it's like, why isn't... I'll just throw out a random name. Why isn't Ali given more television time? Why isn't he getting a push? He's talented. Well, Ali doesn't look like a wrestler. Ali does not look like Roman Reigns. He doesn't look like Cody Rhodes. He doesn't look like Drew McIntyre. Like, those are guys that are going to draw. And just for Punk...
I get what you're saying. Sorry, I get what you're saying, but it's kind of like there's other guys. Okay, like, this is a bad example. Rey Mysterio, but he has a mask, right?
Right.
Bryan Danielson, like, he's a smaller guy, right? He's a guy that, that's smaller. He's a fucking fantastic professional wrestler, right? But, like, you can if he wasn't as good as he was, you can lump him in with, like, those Mustafa Ali's and, Daniel Garcia's, things of that nature. But since that Bryan's an exceptional pro wrestler and a decent promo, better than those guys for sure, but not like a gangbuster promo type of guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? You kind of get what I'm saying? It's kind of like...
I get you, yeah.
It's like I think what CM Punk is trying to do, and you mentioned as well, he's trying to get, more guys on TV. I think that's fair. I think that's fair to that in some aspects, not all aspects, but in some aspects, he wants to he wants to put his, I won't say put his ego to the side, but he wants to do certain things where he wants to try to get some of his talent more noticed because they're not being put on TV, right? Rather than like in WWE, you don't see Roman Reigns, and that's roughly so. Roman Reigns right now is a bigger star than CM Punk, right? But but Cody's, he's doing that for a little bit, he met with Chad Gable, and so. You kind of see it's kind of who you are. It depends on who you are, to where that you may see certain wrestlers go up against certain other wrestlers as well. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm just saying like I can understand why he is doing it.
Right, I get it. For someone like Daniel Bryan and Ray, they fit into a category known as, they're the exception and not the rule. Ray looks like a superhero. He resonates with kids, and that's why he's always gotten over, because he wears the cool masks and he does the cool moves, and that's always resonated, with us fans, growing up, especially with kids now. And superheroes is like the big thing now, so kids see that and they gravitate towards them.
Right, yeah. Ray's the easy one for sure.
And Bryan, again, it's just he was able to be one of those few wrestlers that got over on his work ethic alone, and also it helps that he has a likable kind of everyday man personality, or everyman personality. So,
do you think that others' work ethics is not as good as Bryan's, and that they don't have that same personality?
Yes and no. Because, like, for example, I love Chad Gable.
Right.
Like, I think Chad Gable was really talented and really charismatic. And do I think he can be a world champion? I mean, again, it's one of those things of like, I can't say no and I can't say yes.
Given the right opportunity, for sure.
Oh yeah, because let's be real. If Kurt Angle was in WWE today, do you think he would be as big a star as he was, yesteryear?
Yeah, absolutely. Great wrestler. He could do the comedic stuff that Vince likes, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is a legitimate badass, and plus, he eventually got better on the mic as well. You know what I mean? He may not be a number one guy. He may not be a Roman Reigns, but he will be up there as far as a main eventer. Kind of like how he was in the Attitude Era. He wasn't the main guy in the Attitude Era, but he was definitely like one of the top 5 guys there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I could definitely see Angle being in that spot for sure.
Right. And I think Chad Gable put him in the right opportunity. Like, try to make him a little bit more serious. Like, don't just make him come out like Stoneface and not have a personality. But I also think a guy like Chad Gable, kind of like Kurt, who there was a good stretch where Kurt was, very much like the comedic. I don't want to say comedic guy, but like he was very much kind of goofy for a while, and then when he got the shaved head, he started to become a lot more serious as far as like promos and like personality go. I think Chad Gable eventually, given the right program and given the right people to be around, I think he could fit into that Kurt Angle conversation. Just my opinion.
What about you've grown on him over the last few months, but Carmelo Hayes, smaller guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can talk on the mic, right? More so over your Mustafa Ali's, and other names, like your real, definitely where years of Daniel Garcia is definitely for sure. Do you see him being in a position where he's like because he doesn't look like a wrestler. Like Carmelo is, to me, he doesn't look like a wrestler. He's very fit, right? He looks to me more like an NFL running back.
Right.
You know what I mean? Small, speedster, things like that. But he doesn't look like your prototypical pro wrestler, right? Do you think that? And there's other guys, that we go through as well. That either have similar size as him, or maybe a little bit taller, a little bit smaller, whatever the case may be. Do you think that the way of a pro wrestler that we envision of the 80s and 90s, do you think that, like, it's not fully gone, obviously, because, you still got your Roman Reignses and, you still got your Olmeses and all these other, these other guys as well. Do you think that we are undervaluing the smaller guy? Like the Carmelo Hayeses, I'm not saying we're undervaluing Daniel Bryan, but like just guys like that.
That's a good question. I mean, it's definitely one of those like yes and no kind of answers where, like, again, just going back to, Danielson, going back to Ray, going back to, I mean, Kurt wasn't a big guy, but he wasn't a small guy either. I think
he was a smaller guy. He was a smaller guy back then, but he's probably like a normal sized guy today.
I think he was like maybe 5'9", 5'10", give or take. Sean was probably
Bret
about
Hart.
5'11". I think Bret was a little bigger though.
Bret's taller than Sean. Chris Benoit.
Benoit again.
Benoit is about the same size as your Kurt's, as your Sean's, as your
Eddie.
Eddie, yeah, definitely Eddie for sure. Yeah.
So I mean, just like.
But like Benoit though, like Eddie was fucking charismatic, but Benoit, like, you know what I mean? Like I put him less than Daniel Bryan as far as charisma is concerned. In ring, I mean, it's kind of a push. Like I may give the edge to Benoit, maybe, but it's kind of like it's kind of the same style but different styles.
With Benoit, like for him, it wasn't just talent; it was just like he had this intensity about him that you couldn't take your eyes off him. Like he called himself the Rabid Wolverine. He was kind of essentially Wolverine, from the X-Men, and that's what drew a lot of people to him because he looked like something. Like he looked like he can go in there and tear your arm off and make you tap out. Like his shit looked legit. Same thing with Eddie.
There are some people today though, like even like in AEW and WWE that won't say look like Benoit, but they have that intensity, but they're just not gaining that exposure, that they need. You know what I mean? Guys like Wardlow, bigger than Benoit, obviously, right? Has the intensity. I think it comes from Matt booking, right?
Right.
Powerhouse Hobbs barely got the TNT title, barely gained an opportunity now, so we'll see where that goes. But he was on Dynamite tonight. They had that QTV segment. That doesn't mean shit to me though. So there are guys there, but it's a mixture of all of getting the opportunity at the right place at the right time, getting the fans over with them. There's a list of things. I think that any talent for the most part can get over if given the right opportunity, given the right direction, and focus on their strengths, right? I even think, I'm not a big fan of Daniel Garcia or Wheeler Yuta. I even think they may even, if given the right opportunity, given like the right direction, the right character, can even do something with that, right? It'll be a very long shot, but even at that, I think that there is a chance behind that.
I think another thing that comes into play is that I have to believe what you're saying. With Brian, like he has so much inflection in his voice that when he talks and he gives one of those like rah kind of promos, I believe it, and it's one of those things I'm like, yeah, let's go, Daniel. Same thing with Eddie. Eddie, when he talked, I felt something because, whether it was him giving a serious promo or him giving an entertaining, ha promo, it made me feel something because I can believe that that's Eddie. Whereas, Daniel Garcia, he's out there tonight going, who wants to listen to story time with Daniel Garcia, baby? It's just like, this dude just, again, good wrestler, but come on. He has no personality. I'm sorry. Like, same thing with, like, Wheeler Yuta. Good wrestler.
I think Daniel Garcia has more personality than Wheeler Yuta. It's not much, but I think...
I mean, yeah.
And honestly, again, no one watches Dark, no one watches fucking Rampage. I just so happened to saw a clip on Twitter that through my timeline that I think it was from last week's Rampage or something like that, and it was like a backstage promo. I totally forget what it was, but I just remember Daniel Garcia giving a little bit of personality. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Okay, he's getting a little personality. He's trying there. I didn't see that tonight. I wish I could have saw what I saw on Rampage on Dynamite tonight, but again, it's a mixture of a lot of things as well. Fucking Bob Backlund didn't have a fucking lick of personality. This guy was, it was a different time, of course, but like this guy was fucking champion for so long. So, but it's a different time in wrestling. I just think that you got to have a combination of things. I really think that your look. I think your look is important though, but to me that's not the end all be all. You know, like can you wrestle? Do you have a good entrance? Do you have you know, are you good in ring, right? Are you acceptable on the mic? Okay, if you're not acceptable on the mic, okay, do you have a mouthpiece? Right, that's another thing. Do you have a fucking mouthpiece with you? Do you have a valet, right? Or a manager or something? So all those things are to be considered. And if you don't have, you know, 2, 3, 4, or even 5 of those things, it's gonna be a hard time for you to even make it to the dance.
Yes, you know, especially with, you know, Mello, when we were talking about, you know, look and just with Mello, it's just he won me over because, like, not just that he's good in the ring, it's just I can believe what he's saying. You know, with a lot of, you know, big guys in wrestling, that's always been kind of the problem to me with, you know, Adam Page, in my opinion, where, again, I never said he was bad in the ring. I think he's very good, and just, you know, aside from, you know, his shitty personality, it's just I don't believe what he's saying. Whenever he's trying to go out there and act like a tough guy, I don't buy it. You know, same thing with Moxley. I don't buy that he's a tough guy. I mean, it's just
I have to disagree with Adam Page. I know you're. I have to disagree with Adam Page because, like, when he was cutting those promos, you know, on the way to being the program with him and Kenny Omega, like, that was some compelling shit. Like, I mean, I get where you're coming from, but like, there's been a lot of moments. I'll say this: I've seen more favorable Adam Page promos than not. As of late, you know, it's been hit or miss. That's just my opinion, though, for that. So I don't know how everyone else feels in the chat about that, but like, the Adam Page, Kenny Omega storyline was, I won't say it was goated, but it was pretty damn good, and Adam Page was like I believe that Adam Page really I really believed Adam Page during that time, when he was going after the AEW championship. When he became champion, his promos went down, and ever since then it's been hit or miss for him. You know what I mean? Like, he's had a share of good promos, a share of like questionable promos as well. So, but you know, he showed that he does have that capability.
But yeah, this all started from me talking about Undertaker not having beef with CM Punk. Yeah, you know, just
good conversation though.
Yeah, it was an interesting conversation. It was a lot more deeper than I thought it'd be. But yeah, Taker doesn't have beef with Punk, and as far as I know, as far as I know, I don't think Punk really has any beef with Taker. I mean, because he's had interviews talking about Taker where he said, you know, of course, the respectable thing, you know, Taker's Taker and got nothing but respect. So, you know, as far as the news goes, as far as everything I had, that was pretty much it. I mean, did you bring any news topics with you?
Very minor stuff. We covered most of the ones I was going to cover too, but just the Raw viewership. Raw did a 1.77 this past Monday. It is up from last week. SmackDown from last Friday, which was on March the 17th, St. Patty's Day. That viewership was down slightly, 2.122. So it was very down slightly from the 10th, which was 2.136. And NXT last night, NXT the 21st, that one was down as well by over 40,000 viewers. 550,000 went down 40,000 last week. So that's all I had. I didn't have anything else. We covered everything else that I was going to cover too. So we're right on point.
Oh wow! And yeah, it looks like we might be getting out a little early tonight. So I guess we can talk about like SmackDown and Raw. So last week's SmackDown, the big talking point was with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn Cody Rhodes being, the peacemaker, calling out Kevin and calling out Sammy, and just wanting them to be friends again. That's really all we wanted. He wanted what we wanted. Kevin Owens pretty much saying, with all due respect, Cody, I don't want anything to do with him, and because, why would I want to be friends with somebody who doesn't want to be my friend? And then he walks off. And then as Kevin, is getting into the car, Sammy's saying, I do want to be your friend. I love you. Like, how did that hit me? Like, as soon as he's like, when he said I love you, I'm like, oh, like, this is cutting deep. And then later on the night, you had Jey Uso and Sammy talking, and Jey just saying, I never liked you from the beginning because I thought you were trying to take over my family or whatever, and then eventually I loved you like a brother, and then you betrayed me. And then, he goes after Sammy, and then Jimmy joins in, and then Kevin comes out. They do the spot where Kevin's music plays and the Usos are like at ringside waiting for him to come in, and then the camera kind of pans over to Kevin Owens, standing behind them like he's, the Terminator or whatever. And he unzips his jacket and just takes him out, and we're all waiting for the big hug. And as soon as, Kevin and Sammy hug, the whole place goes fucking nuts. So, Kevin and Sammy are now best friends again. Good. But what did you think about the segment?
I mean, we kind of talked about it on Saturday. I mean, it was needed. It progressed where it needed to progress, and it got a big pop out of me. The pop. I forgot where they were at, but it was a huge pop on television like that. They got a pay-per-view pop on TV, which you haven't heard in a long time. So yeah, I mean. It progressed nicely on Raw. We saw them, basically make the match official, which is needed. I mean, my complaints about WrestleMania and certain storylines not progressing, this one's starting to progress pretty well, as is Cody and Roman as well. So I know we're going to talk about that in a little bit too as well. But yeah.
Other things that happened on SmackDown. Let's see, the brawl with Rhea and Charlotte, which was fucking good. I loved it. The promo before that, Rhea telling Charlotte, everyone else here is afraid of me, whether it's a man or a woman, but you're not, and that pisses me off. And then she sucker punches Charlotte, and I thought it was just gonna be, Rhea and Dom, walking away, and Charlotte's just like, all right, bitch, I got something for you. But no, Charlotte's like, no, fuck this bitch. And then she gets out and just goes after Rhea, and there has to be this big pull apart, which I loved. I thought it was good. Is it main event worthy? No. Like, it's the main
Definitely
event.
Not.
I mean, the main event of night one should be exactly what we think it is. So, but still, this is how you build up a match with two big stars. But yeah, what'd you think about the big brawl with Rhea and Charlotte?
I mean, I like the brawl. I don't have any issues with the brawl whatsoever, but to me, I still need more. I still need more than what we got. Like,
right.
it's I won't say it's fully getting there yet, but it's been. I'll say it's been better than what it has been. I will say that. But again, I'm gonna say this. What's this like? Like, what is this? I know what the story is. But what is that emotional connection that is going to put this match over the top? Because this match still, I mean, we know what we want to main event, which is the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. But if this is going to main event night one, you're not treating it. You're starting to kind of treat it like it, but you're really not treating. To me, actually, let me take it back. You're not treating it like a main event. For night one. You want to know why? Because what happened on Monday? Did we see Charlotte? No. When's the last time Charlotte even been on fucking Raw? I can't think. If I have to think that long, then it's been too long. So yeah, good what they did on Friday. Overall, I give the segment a thumbs up, but again, it's not worthy of a main event. And people say, "Oh, well, well, Rhea, she won the Royal Rumble, so she gets the main event of WrestleMania. Oh, don't let me.
Says who? Says
Yeah,
who?
don't. There's a lot of people online that say, like, Steven Larson. Like, I love Steven Larson. Steve, I think it was Steve that said that. Well, Rhea, she won the Royal Rumble, so she should main event. And I was thinking, like, no. Do you know how many people who did not main event WrestleMania won the Royal Rumble? There's a lot of people who didn't main event WrestleMania who won the Royal Rumble. A lot.
Which
You know what I mean?
I did see a list of that. Let me try and look it up. But continue.
Like, it's like, we don't even have to go through the list. I can pull up the Royal Rumble winners right now. Royal Rumble winners. If you have the list handy too. But just let's see. Royal Rumble. Okay. So Royal Rumble 88, Jim Duggan did not main event WrestleMania 4. 89, Big John Studd did not main event WrestleMania 5. 90, 91 main event by Hogan. 92 main event by... Oh, so no, I'm sorry. 92, Ric Flair did not main event WrestleMania 8. 93, Yokozuna main evented. 94, Bret Hart and Lex Luger. Lex Luger did main event WrestleMania 10. 95, Shawn Michaels did not main event WrestleMania 11. 97, Stone Cold Steve Austin did not main event WrestleMania 13. 99, Mr. McMahon did not main event 15. 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. These guys were actually main event WrestleMania. 2006, Rey Mysterio did not main event 22. 2007, Undertaker did not main event 23. 2008, John Cena did not main event 24. 2009, 2010, Edge did not main event 26. 2011, Alberto Del Rio was fucking, your opening contest is scheduled for one fall. So he opened WrestleMania. 2012, Sheamus did not main event. 2013, Cena did. 2014, Batista did. 2015, that was 31, Roman did. 2016, Triple H, he did. 2017, Orton, 33. Who did Orton go up against at 33? I can't think. Was that
33?
Oh, that was Bray Wyatt. Yeah, definitely did main event. 2018, Nakamura did main event. Asuka did not main event.
Nope.
2019, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Becky did, but not Seth. 2020, Charlotte Flair and Drew McIntyre. Wait, did 2020? That was pandemic WrestleMania. It main evented Drew and Lesnar.
But
okay.
Yeah, Rhea, or no, not Rhea. Charlotte and Rhea. That was the opener of night one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then 2021, Bianca Belair and Edge. Bianca did night one. Edge did not. Oh, Edge did. Yeah. That was the triple threat, right? No, it wasn't. Was it triple threat?
The WrestleMania in 2021. Yeah, the main event was the triple threat.
Jesus Christ! That's put in perspective on how long Roman's been champion. Fuck.
Yeah, 2021 of night 2, the main event was Roman, Bryan, and Edge. Yeah.
Then Rousey didn't main event. Brock did. Then now you have Cody, who is going to main event night 2, and possibly Rhea Ripley. Main. So the point is, not everyone has main evented a fucking WrestleMania who's running Royal Rumble. So go fuck off people who say that.
Yeah, it's just like when you said Sheamus, I was like, yeah, that opened WrestleMania in 2012, and that was like for 7 seconds.
Yeah, scheduled for one fall. 2 years in a row, the Royal Rumble winner opened WrestleMania.
But, shit, yeah, let me go back to SmackDown real quick. I had it right here. Alright, here we go. Judgment Day defeated Legado del Fantasma after Rhea hit Riptide on Vega. Rey Mysterio confronted Dominic post-match after Dominic is continuing to want a match with Rey at Mania. Rey still refuses because he doesn't want to hit his kid. Rey said in the promo, "If you were any other punk-ass kid, I would be happy to kick your ass, but you're my son, so I'm not going to fight you," which I still think is weird. They're more than likely going to announce it the week of. Like, I'm just going to go on and just say that.
Rey, the Mysterio family is going to be on SmackDown on Friday, so
right.
Either it's going to happen there, or I'm really, really hoping that they do at the fucking Hall of Fame. God, that'll be something different. That'll be a reason to watch the Hall of Fame as well, right? That'll be pretty cool if that happens, but we'll see.
And Conan addressed, the talks of him inducting Rey, which he kind of admitted. He said he's still negotiating. It'd be interesting to see Conan at the Hall of Fame, with a live mic, so we'll see how that works. It'd be interesting if Dominic did get involved and Conan kind of steps in to kind of talk shit to Dominic. Which I don't think a lot of people know. Conan is actually Dominic's godfather. So, let's see what else happened. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeated Emma and Tegan Nox to qualify for a fatal 4-way tag team match at Mania. I don't know if it's going to be the winner gets a tag team title shot, I'm assuming. Let's see. Xavier Woods defeated LA Knight because LA Knight's getting a push, supposedly. Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus ended in a draw after Imperium attacked both men, and Adam Pearce announced that Gunther would be defending his title in a triple threat against Sheamus and Drew. So that should be a banger. And we already talked about how the show ended. So yep. I missed most of Raw, so I had to come back and watch, I guess, the more important points. So
it was a sandwich Raw.
Right.
And what I mean by that is it was a great opening, great ending. Other than that, who gives a shit? It wasn't good.
Right. I mean, again, I came home and I had it on, my YouTube TV watch list. So I just skimmed through the more important parts. The Usos came out and talked to Sammy and Kevin and said, we're not wrestling you. But then Jay's like, wait, I have an idea. This could be our best way of getting rid of them once and for all. So, they confirmed, it will be for the tag titles at Mania. Hopefully at main events. It should. Cuts to a backstage segment with Roman and Jay, where Roman's telling Jay, I've been calling you. I've had to talk to your brother to get in touch with you. Are you with us or are you against us? And, Jay say, I'm with you. Still kind of continue that storyline of Jay really is more so with his brother rather than Roman. Which is, still interesting because, again, Jay is Jay. You have something interesting to do with Jay after Mania. He can be the guy to kind of hold it together for the bloodline when Roman does, step out. Because, there's already talks of Roman, taking a vacation after Mania, whether he wins or loses. So that'd be interesting to see. But you can tell there's still friction there, which is good. And Dominic came out, and, again, like you just said, the Mysterio family will be at SmackDown on Friday. And Dom's saying, I got kicked out of the group chat, and I got my number blocked. And, I guess I have to ask Mom for permission to wrestle you. Because, you keep your balls in her purse. So I guess we're going to be getting an answer maybe this Friday, more than likely. And the show ended with Roman coming out. And then Cody, of course, interrupting Roman. And, Roman shitting Cody, making mention of AEW, where he said, you didn't want to be Stardust, so you ran away. And then you ran away and started your own promotion. You couldn't get over there, so you ran away. And
which I thought, I get where Roman was going, but that's a lie. Cody was over there, right? I mean, people started sour on him, but if he wasn't over, then AEW wouldn't be around. So that's kind of, I don't know.
Right. I mean,
again, I don't know if that line sat well with me all the way.
Yeah, it's just again talking shit about AEW. But Cody telling Roman, you're gonna have to sit with the fact of, the day after Mania, April 3rd, that you're not gonna have these titles, and eventually Jay's gonna leave you, and Jimmy's gonna leave you, and Solo's gonna leave you, and Heyman's just gonna be an advocate. You're gonna be a Roman with no more reigns and a chief without a tribe. And, the whole time, Solo's just talking shit, or not talking shit, but just like looking at him like he wants to fight. And Cody's like, you've been glaring at me all night, so I'll tell you this much. You're not ready. And right when he leaves, he tells Solo, like I said, you're not ready. And then Solo gets, ready to like go at him. And then Cody just boots him right in the face. And then, Roman stops him. So I thought that was a great fucking promo. I like the fact that these two haven't touched yet.
Right.
I mean, if I had to guess, I would say it's going to happen on Monday.
No, they don't. No, not even that. I don't want no physicality at all between. I mean, yeah. I mean, like there's two ways about it, but I guess I'll be okay with physicality, but I prefer if they don't.
I get you. You want the match to feel special because it's like if they have physicality, and also this is kind of an interesting way to look at it. With physicality, it has to mean something,
right? Like
with Rhea and Charlotte, that's physicality because, in storyline fashion, Rhea hates Charlotte. Like she's pissed off that Charlotte isn't afraid of her, and she's still pissed off because that Charlotte beat her 3 years ago. With Roman and Cody, where's the hostility there? Like there really isn't any hostility between Roman and Cody. It almost seems like there's a mutual respect between Roman and Cody. But for Roman, it's like people keep saying you're great. I'm still waiting for it. I'm great. I think you're really good, but I don't think you're great. So I mean, I don't know how there would be hostility, like like I just mentioned. I mean, it looks like we're getting Cody.
It's kind of the same thing, even more on NXT right now with Mello and Braun Breaker.
Yeah, I mean, because like that's more of a mutual respect rather than I hate you and I hate you too. Like that's more like anything you can do, I can do better. So I'm kind of with you. I don't want to see any physicality until Mania because it almost seems like the story going in is Roman doesn't really take Cody that seriously, or he's pretending that he doesn't take him seriously, and that could eventually be his downfall.
So let me ask you this: I know we're going to do our official predictions next week,
right?
But what are you feeling right now?
A lot of people, a lot of our friends, a lot of people within the circle of our podcast circle, they're thinking Roman retains, partly due because he's coming up on 1,000 days as champion, and WWE,
which I mentioned like a couple months ago too. So
right, and it wouldn't bother me because what you can do with that is you can just have Cody come out the next night and just be like, I didn't finish the story the way I wanted to, but maybe that was the way it was meant to be. The story still isn't finished. Like you can have Cody gain sympathy from the fans of like, he should be champion. And what you can do with Roman in the meantime is, do like in Rocky 2, where Apollo, had it in his head like this boy almost beat me. Like, everyone is, casting doubt on me as the tribal chief and, the guy, because this guy from the rival company who was Stardust, 6 years ago came back and almost beat me. Like that can be the storyline with Roman is that, I almost got beat by Stardust. I almost got beat by Cody, and no one does that to me. So for him, it's like eventually, they can have a match at SummerSlam. And that's
I think the biggest thing, sorry to interrupt, but I think the biggest thing is that we see no struggle from Cody as of yet.
Right.
Has Cody struggled like past WrestleMania winners to win titles? They, it's in a sense for it to work. They struggled. Stone Cold Steve Austin, He's like when he came back at for WrestleMania 17. Obviously, he struggled because he came back from a broken neck, right? You know what I mean? We've seen it many times in the past. Daniel Bryan, obviously, WrestleMania 30, right? Like, obviously, he struggled with the Authority, right? We have not seen that type of story being played out as of yet with Cody. Like, he didn't struggle in the Royal Rumble. He didn't struggle at all. He came out at number 30. That's why I gave that Royal Rumble a thumbs down, because there was no struggle. It was just given to him, right? So to me, I think that I really think that this is what I'm predicting. I don't know what WWE is going to do. I'm predicting at this time. I'll let you know. We'll let you know. When's official prediction time. But at what I'm feeling right now, I think they're going to give Roman the win here. And I really want to see a dusty finish. As I mentioned, we're already, talked about that scenario, with like Cody's foot being under the rope, but it's not on camera. The referee counts 1, 2, 3, and basically from there, like, they're gonna have to restart the match because they didn't see Roman's foot underneath the rope, and Roman, beats him with the spear because Cody was Cody was dejected. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't focused. So I think that would be a good way to A, keep Cody strong, B, have Roman walk out with the championship, and also C, this bloodline storyline, like who at this point, do we want to see Roman lose the title right now? I'm not ready for him to see him lose the title right now.
Yeah, I mean, especially coming up on 1,000 days, because like this angle is still hot because you have
mine's 1,000 days. Yeah,
you have so many things going around the angle that I don't want to say kind of supersedes what Cody is doing, but without if it's just not Cody, you have Sammy, you have Kevin Owens, you have Jay. Yeah, just there's so many interesting factors in the story that if Roman does take time off after Mania, who says he has to lose? Like, he could just say, So again, going back to my idea of like Roman saying, I'm taking much needed time off and turning to Jay, you take care of this. You take care of my family. You take care of my bloodline. And that, builds up that eventual rematch of Cody and Roman, whereas Roman in his head is thinking like, I couldn't enjoy my vacation. I couldn't enjoy time with my family because the whole time I'm thinking, are people really doubting me because I almost got beat by Cody? And
what will make it better?
Huh?
This will make it better. So Roman wins, right? Usos lose. They lose their titles.
Right.
They'll lose their titles at WrestleMania. So Roman goes on vacation. Before he goes on vacation, obviously he's happy that he won, but he's pissed that the Usos lost.
Right.
So he makes Jay like, hey, I'm going to be gone for a while, but now you're in charge. If this ship starts to sink, it's your ass, right? So eventually we will end up getting a Jay versus Roman feud. Not at SummerSlam or nothing like that. This will be before SummerSlam. And obviously, at that particular point in time, Jay loses to Roman. Now, I'm also kind of thinking as well, like, maybe, like, Jay starts his own bloodline, his own, like bloodline Wolfpack, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Something like that. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you need more members, and, maybe that'll bring back Naomi at that point in time. Or maybe, Jesus Christ, if MLW wants to, play nice to WWE, which is probably not going to happen.
Right.
That's where you can get, Jacob Fatu to come on in. But Roman comes back, and eventually, like he faces against Jay, right? Then from there, Cody will end up getting his rematch at SummerSlam. And that's where you can actually start doing a little bit more intense stuff, better storytelling, and eventually have Cody win the title from Roman at SummerSlam. That's kind of my early thoughts about it, but that's why I would do as right now, because if you just give Cody the title, great, he wins. It's a great moment for him. I'll be so happy for him, right? But it kind of feels like it'll be a great moment, but what after that?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
it'll feel empty, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Like who will you feud against? What's the next step? He's on like, and even at that, by that time, by SummerSlam, who knows? Maybe it'll be just for one title, the WWE Championship, because Triple H, he's rumored wants to split the titles by SummerSlam. So if that's the case, Roman doesn't even have to lose the Universal title. He could just lose the WWE title, and Cody's champion, and we get 2 championships back too as well. So that'll be another scenario too that can happen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because I pitched the idea of just like Cody can feud with the Usos all summer. He can feud with Jay. He can feud with Solo. Solo being the muscle. Solo of like oh, you think you just walk yourself back into a feud with Roman? You gotta get through me. I'm the muscle. Jay is the new guy in charge. That's a feud you can have for like 2 pay-per-views. Is Jay and Cody, and it's like, let's say, just hypothetically, let's say like Roman wanted to, do movies. Like you can easily insert Jay into that spot. Like for me, I mean, because Jay's not exactly a small guy. Like he's a pretty big guy, and he looks believable, and he can work, and I mean he could talk. I mean when he talks, you feel something. To me, I think he's the better. I think in the bloodline, I think he's the better worker, and I think he's also the better talker. Not to take anything away from Roman. Roman's obviously the bigger star, but to me, Jay is like, they call him main event Jey Uso for a reason, because he.
And they can circle back on that as well, for sure. The main event Jey Uso thing.
Yeah, he definitely has it in him to be a main event star. I mean, if they really play their cards right, they can have him win the Royal Rumble next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, that would be good. I mean, I want to see him succeed. And also we need more stars in the company. We need, more stars, because Cody's not going to be here forever. Roman's not going to be here forever. Seth can't be here forever.
I don't think Jay's going to be. I mean, he's been there for him and Jay's been there for 15 years. So
right, no, I get what you mean, because like Jay's not exactly a spring chicken, but he's still young-ish. He's like 37, I believe. So I mean, that's still young. But again, we need more stars. If we're able to create a star out of Jey Uso of this program, and that's the way it looks, then good. That's just good for us as fans. Also good for the company. But next week, next Wednesday, WrestleMania predictions. That should fill up everything on the show. I'll try to see if I can get a third guest so we can really run through this card with a fine-tooth comb.
Yeah.
And of course, NXT, the Stand and Deliver. I did not watch NXT from last night. Yesterday was a busy day, so I was not home. But did you watch NXT?
Sure did. It was a good show. They progress with with the oh Jesus Christ. They progress well on some storylines. Dragon Lee is going to be in the Fatal 5-Way along with Wesley, and also Wesley has included Ilya Dragunov and JD McDonough. The 5th guy is going to be determined in a Battle Royal next week, so there's that. You have Chase versus Schism, which is going to be in an 8-person tag at Stand Deliver. Winner gets full control of the Chase University. Which I think that Schism is probably going to win that. There's also Ava Reigns, The Rock's daughter, first match as well, so that'll be something to look out for. Triple threat tag team match is scheduled for Stand Deliver. So we have the Gallus Boys, the NXT Tag Team Champions, versus the Creed Brothers, the favorite Creed Brothers here, and Tony D'Angelo and Stax. and also as well Tiffany Stratton and Layla Valkyria has been added to the 5-woman women's ladder match at Stand Deliver as well. So there's been a lot of progression, a lot of adding to Stand Deliver. You also had Braun Breaker and Carmelo teaming up with each other against Pretty Deadly. Of course, they won. So there's that as well. So yeah, I mean, it was a fine episode of NXT. Did what it needed to do, build up to Stand Deliver. NXT to me has been very enjoyable. It's not black and gold, but it feels like those early years of NXT of like 2013, 2014. With Dragon Lee being there now. People didn't know who Vikingo was. People know who he is after tonight. It's gonna be the same thing with Dragon Lee at Stand Deliver. There's gonna be people who's gonna starting to like him and start to see what he can do in the ring as well. But Stand Deliver to me, like, this is the closest black and gold takeover per se. It's not a takeover, but this is close to a takeover that I've seen in a long time, which gets me very excited about. So,
yeah, I mean, I'll give it a watch. I like the takeovers. I mean, takeover shows are always pretty good, especially now that they're going on the road, and you always end up getting a pretty nice crowd. So, next week's NXT will be taped. So I believe they already taped it. I haven't looked at the results, so. But, yeah. So, yeah, I believe that's all the topics we have. With that being said, we'll see you guys next Wednesday, same time, same channel. And we'll start on time this time. And, of course, next week will be a busy week for wrestling fans. It'll be WrestleMania week. And we'll be doing WrestleMania predictions as well as Stand Deliver predictions. And also, the day of WrestleMania will be the opening of Justin's store.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're in the San Antonio area, or if you want to make a trip down to San Antonio and you want to get yourself a wrestling shirt, you want to get yourself any like wrestling memorabilia, if you want a Stone Cold Steve Austin phone,
baby,
Justin has it. He has everything.
Everything.
So look at my boy's store. Support my boy. With that being said, Justin, go ahead and plug your stuff.
Yeah. Obviously, Spinebuster Tees. Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. So check me out. Going to be posting a lot more stuff going forward as soon as the store opens. So spinebustertees.com as well. So if you're not in the San Antonio area, if you're not even in Texas, you can go on the website and get you a t-shirt. The I Am Pro Wrestling t-shirt, Hardcore Wrestling t-shirt, Just Enjoy Wrestling t-shirt as well. Amongst other other designs, have close to 20 designs on the website, so check it out on spinebustertees.com.
Yeah, you heard the man. And as for me, you know where to find me. Shows distributed everywhere that podcasts are put out. Google Podcasts, iTunes, Spreaker, YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, so get those numbers up. Currently it's like 88, I believe, so help me get those numbers up, people. And let's see. Oh, the Trifecta Threat podcast that I do with Monty and RJ. It's new episode's already up. It's on the Spreaker platform for the Drew Yari show. This was Monty's decision from here on out. So look it up. It's a really good show. I'm not the host. Monty's the host. We did a show on Sunday. It was really fucking funny. Like we have a lot of fun on the show. We just always make each other laugh. So give it a listen, people. Patreon.com, the Drew Yari Show, $5 a month. That's those shows are less of wrestling podcasts and more of just like, me and whomever, whether it be me and Jeff on our Garden of Droom episode, where I'm more of the moderator and Jeff's the host, and I just give Jeff a homework assignment, and he just gives off all the knowledge and research that he found on it, and it's really good shit, people. If you're into mythology, if you're into any of the stuff that's on Jeff's podcast on Garden of Doom, which is, it's kind of a play on his show and me, Garden of Droom, give it a listen, people. It's good shit. It's worth $5 a month. Then I do a show with RJ, Attack of the Savage Nerds, which we're on episode 21. So we've done 21 episodes of that podcast, and it's just me and him talking about nerdy shit. The shit we like movies, comics, and what have you. And then I do a show with Ruben Prime called Culture Attack. We did a show for at least over 3 hours last week, and that's more so about pop culture and just, what's going on in the news, less about wrestling. And I dropped 3 bangers in the past week, people. So if you're not on the Patreon, you're missing out. It's just $5 a month, people. I mean, what can you get with $5? What can you get for $5 nowadays? Not a lot. Not a lot.
We're not gonna fight off foot long anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Jared's getting those $5 footlongs in prison.
Jesus Christ.
He's a fucking pedophile. Fuck him. But yeah, nothing's really ever $5 anymore. You will literally be paying $5 a month to hear my stupid ass talk about the stupid things that I like. So it's worth the money, people. It's just $5. $5. Go to steal your dad's credit card.
Oh,
and I'm not promoting stealing money from your parents, but I'm just saying, hypothetically, steal your dad's credit card and explain it to him later. It's just $5. I'm sure he'll understand. I mean, come on. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Just steal money. I'm playing, but I'm tired, people. I told you I'm out of it. But anyways, yeah, $5 a month worth the Patreon. It's a damn good deal. You'll love it. It's like, what is it? Men's Furniture, or not Furniture Factory Warehouse, but what was that? What was that commercial? You'll like the way you look. I'll guarantee it.
Men's Warehouse.
Men's Warehouse. We're like Men's Warehouse. You're gonna like what you hear. I guarantee it. So, anyways, guys, that is the show, and we did 2 hours even, and a little earlier than we thought. But anyways, guys, take care, and we will see you next week. And enjoy Mania, or enjoy us talking about Mania next week. But
like we ain't there yet. Almost.
We ain't there almost. But take care, guys, and peace.